Welcome in to Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we're going to let you get to know Seahawks rookie safety Jerrick Reed II out of New Mexico. We'll tell you everything you need to know about the Seahawks rookie who's been turning heads this offseason, coming up in just a few moments from right now. Before we do, though, let's get some good vibes going Jerrick Reed's direction. Here's what I want you to do, folks. Show some love to Jerrick Reed II. If you're rooting for him, you want to see him do well in Seattle, go ahead and smash that like button. Let's send some positive vibes Jerrick Reed's direction. We want to see him do well and have a very successful tenure with the Seattle Seahawks. Show him some love today and hit that like button. We'll get started with today's show. So what we're going to do here is we're going to tell you about the backstory with Jerrick Reed II, how he ultimately ended up in Seattle and his connections actually to a Seahawks legend, as well as the scouting report and everything you need to know about Jerrick Reed II. First and foremost, he was a sixth-round pick in this April's draft out of New Mexico, and he was the first player drafted from the New Mexico Lobos since 2018. Been a long time since they had a guy picked up. So this was a big deal for Albuquerque, New Mexico, to have Jerrick Reed selected in this year's draft, as they've been waiting a long time for that to happen. Jerrick Reed began his career actually at Northwest Mississippi State Community College in 2018, played 1 year there before finishing the rest of his career at New Mexico. And his hometown, by the way, Olive Branch, Mississippi. What's significant about that? That is the same hometown as Seahawks great KJ Wright, and the two know each other. More on that in just a bit. He wasn't highly recruited coming out of high school, did not receive any Division I offers before ultimately going to Northwest Mississippi State for 1 year in 2018. Then he transferred to New Mexico and was a 4-year starter for the Lobos. Got to play 5 years of college football because of the COVID waiver year in 2022. Gave him an extra year of eligibility to be a super senior, and he took advantage of it and enjoyed a successful final year of college football last year in New Mexico. He majored in construction management, so by definition, he's got to be a gritty football player, right? And one fascinating note about Jerrick Reed as well, two-sport athlete, has a passion for bowling. Yes, you heard that right. He is quite the bowler, according to sources there. So, with that being said, I want to know, is Jerrick Reed going to make the Seahawks 53-man roster? I think so, and when you hear what we're about to tell you from Pete Carroll and others about Jerrick Reed, I think you'll be pretty sure he's going to make the roster. But let me know what you think in the comments section. A pinned comment today. You might get an ad break, if so, take advantage of it. And tell me what you think one way or the other. Will Jerrick Reed II make the Seahawks 53-man roster? Or not? Y for yes, in for no. Wait in the comment section and let me know. From everything that I've seen and read about Jerrick Reed II and what he has done so far this offseason, it sounds like he was a late-round steal for the Seattle Seahawks, as the guy was virtually unknown prior to the NFL draft. And as we were looking up information on him when he was selected, there wasn't a whole lot out there about Jerrick Reed. This was incredible work by the Seahawks scouting department to be able to find this guy the way that they did. His numbers in 2022, this past year with the Lobos in the Mountain West Conference, he had 94 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, 11 pass breakups, 1 interception, and 2 forced fumbles. The scouting report from Lance Zierlein of NFL Media, this is what he had to say prior to the draft on Jerrick Reed. A productive safety with above-average football smarts, Reed might need to make a permanent move to a nickel role with backup safety roster flexibility. He covers with good footwork and is patient not to commit his hips prematurely against fakes. He works to squeeze tight to his targets through the route, but could have issues against leapers who can go over the top of him. He's a willing run supporter but the stopping power falls a little below the mark. He will have some work to do to find a full-time home in the league. Another strong safety slot hybrid. Reed was a bright spot for the New Mexico defense. His consistency was evident as he posted only 2 game grades with 63 this past season. This is from Pro Football Focus, by the way. More from PFF. There isn't a ton of high-end play with just 2 game grades above 80 in his career. Reed played nearly 600 special team snaps in college, which may be his best path to playing time. So that's what the experts had to say with NFL Media's Lance Zierlein and Pro Football Focus on Jerrick Reed. We'll let you hear what Pete Carroll had to say about Jerrick Reed and what he's done in offseason activities in just a moment. But before we do, want to know, who was your favorite Seahawks draft pick this year? It was a very eventful draft for the Seahawks with all the picks that they had and bringing in this next era of Seahawks talent. Who was your favorite pick? Was it Jerrick Reed or was it somebody else? Well, in the comments section and tell me who your favorite pick was for Seattle in this year's draft. Give me one name and let me know who your favorite was. The 4th of July is just a few days away as we celebrate America's independence here on this fine weekend. And I got to tell you, we got a great deal that we're offering right now. It is red, white, and blue American flag Seahawks shirts just for the 12s, and they're available right now at chatsports.com/SeahawksUSA. America, the greatest country on earth. We love to celebrate this great nation, and we love our Seattle Seahawks. And I can't think of a better combination between the two than to get this shirt right here, where you're showing off your pride for your country and for your team at the same time. Why would you not want to get one of these? And you can wear it year-round as well. It's never a bad idea to be wearing, we're red, white, and blue along with the Seahawks as well. You can represent both country and team today at chatsports.com/SeahawksUSA. Great way to celebrate the 4th of July. You'll be glad you did. That's chatsports.com/SeahawksUSA. So Jerrick Reed, we mentioned he and KJ Wright having a history, the fact that they know each other, came from the same hometown. This is what Jerrick Reed had to say about KJ Wright in their conversations. He just told me how much he loved it, talking about Seattle. He told me it was a great organization, a great city, a great environment, and he said the fans are crazy. So I can't wait to get out there and experience it so I can share my stories about it as well. More on Jerrick Reed and his role in the National Football League with Seattle. He's expected to be a safety, nickel, hybrid slot corner of some sorts. Very versatile in that sense. Also expected to be available on special teams and really just in about any way, shape, or form with 600 snaps in college, as mentioned, on special teams. So a lot of experience there. And we talked about the Seahawks having their eyes on him when there wasn't a whole lot of info out there for everybody else on Jerrick Reed. Get this. The Seahawks were one of just 2 teams known publicly to use an official top 30 visit on Reed. So obviously they saw something that not a lot of people did in Jerrick Reed on that front. Now, we will say this. With what he brings height and lengthwise for an NFL safety, is below average at 5'9", 196. But what you can't argue about is the football IQ and good awareness. He's got that going for him. He's a very smart football player as far as that goes. So may not have the right framework, when it comes size-wise, but you can't argue with the smarts and the football IQ that he brings to the table there. More on Jerrick Reed II here in just a moment, but first, want to make sure you're subscribed to Seahawks Today by Chat Sports as we're continuing to talk about the Seahawks all offseason long with daily news and rumors. Got our live shows on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. And we're also, when the season begins, going to be bringing back our watch parties as well. If you're a diehard Seahawks fan, if you want more videos like you're seeing today of breaking down some of these Seahawk players and what's going on with your team, this is the channel for you. Subscribe for free today. Doesn't cost you a thing. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. If the Seahawks make a major signing or trade of some sorts, you're going to be the first to know because we're going to talk about it here on the channel. Subscribe now for free. Turn on notifications. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. Now, we've been teasing this all show long, but here's the moment you've all been waiting for. Pete Carroll talking about Jerrick Reed II. And when he talked about Jerrick Reed II a while back, he dropped a double stud when talking about Jerrick Reed. That's got to resonate, okay? That isn't just a big deal for Jerrick Reed, but that sends a message to the rest of the locker room how good of a football player this guy is and what he brings to the table, that Pete's not messing around when he talks about Jerrick Reed and singing his praises as far as that goes. Here is more from Jerrick Reed. He's a stud now. He's really built. He's really quick. You know, I needed to see him in person to see how physical he is, see how he can play as physical a style he has. He's a stud now. He's really built, and he's fast as heck. How about that? Some great praise there from Pete Carroll on Jerrick Reed. The Seahawks depth chart as things stand right now. Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs leading the way there. Julian Love, of course, will be a big addition for this Seahawks team as well. But look out for Jerrick Reed as he makes his presence known of what he's going to bring to this Seattle Seahawks team here in 2023. Before we go, how would you grade the pick of Jerrick Reed by the Seattle Seahawks? Knowing what you know now about the New Mexico stud, what do you think of what the Seahawks did to bring him in late in the draft? Let me know in the comments section. Give me a grade A, B, C, D, or F for Jerrick Reed, the selection of him by the Seahawks. Got to go, but appreciate you joining us. As always, you can hit me up on social media. The Summer of Jones continues this weekend. Off to Chicago to celebrate the 4th of July, going to the first ever NASCAR street race and the Cubs game, so should have a good time. I'll still be talking about your Seahawks all weekend long. Enjoy the 4th, and we'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.